Yo, Wendy, what's good? Oh, you about to be one of my regulars. I like that. I like how you be showing up for me. I appreciate you. How your day going? I gotta go take off the work clothes and go put some paint. You know what I'm saying? Got the work attire looking all extra extra. I'll be right back. Why is this not connecting to my speaker? What is going on?
Stress a nigga faces fucking flame. Take the same flame, smoking Mary Jane. Get a spark of inspiration that change. Your destination, elevate to higher plane. All in education, trappers entertaining all the same. If you know the basics, take a middle, roll it up the plane. If you want advance, blaze a own path, make a new way. You can do it one day, two day, on a Sunday or a Tuesday. Forget whatever who say, just as long as you say that you tried your best. When they put you to the test, cause you learn from life's lessons and you live off respect. A whole way, then move with grace. That's so pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old days. Then make mixtapes for my always. A whole way, then move with grace. That's so pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old days. Then make mixtapes for my always. My mama was a crackhead, my daddy was the dope man. Bad situation was the state that I was raised in. To live flex damn is the only life I'm facing. Running from the state, but still I feel caged in. Trying to get a new connect, making deals with Haitians. I rock it up, drop it down, and sell it to Caucasians. Say, street life make it hard to sleep right. I smoke weed and the fiend still steam blunts each night. Each life makes a decision to try to reach Christ. But meet him when I pull heat, as you go to see light. It seems like all these demons just wanna take mine. In daytime, all these haters, I let them take nine. We moving out of new minutes to have a break time. I'm hard as the streets, so you niggas can never break mine. Never seen you grind, hustling so one time. Rap a big one nine, I just see it one time. A whole way, then move with grace. That's so pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old days. Then make mixtapes for my always. A whole way, then move with grace. That's so pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old days. Then make mixtapes for my always. You do it one day, or 2 day, on a Sunday or Tuesday. Forget whatever you say, just as long as you say that you tried your best.
When they put you to the test.
Stress a nigga faces fucking flame. Take the same flame, smoking Mary Jane. Get a spark of inspiration that change. Your destination, elevate to higher plane. All in education, trappers entertaining all the same. If you know the basics, take a middle, roll it up the plane. If you want advance, blaze a own path, make a new way. You can do it one day, two day, on a Sunday or a Tuesday. Forget whatever who say, just as long as you say that you tried your best. When they put you to the test, cause you learn from life's lessons and you live off respect. A whole way, then move with grace. That's slow pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old age. Then make mixtapes for my throwaways. A whole way, then move with grace. That's slow pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old age. Then make mixtapes for my throwaways. My mama was a crackhead, my daddy was the dope man. Bad situation was the state that I was raised in. To live flex damn is the only life I'm facing. Running from the state, but still I feel caged in. Trying to get a new connect, making deals with Haitians. I fuck it up, choke it down, sell it to Caucasians. I'm saying, street life make it hard to sleep right. I smoke weed and the fiend still steam blunts each night. Each life makes a decision to try to reach Christ. But meet him when I'm pulling as you go to see light. It seems like all these demons just wanna take mine. In daytime, all these haters, I let them take nine. We moving out of new minutes to have a break time. Hard as the streets, so you niggas can never break mine. Never seen you grind, hustling so one time. Rap a big one nine, I just see it one time. A whole way, then move with grace. That's slow pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old days. Then make mixtapes for my always. A whole way, then move with grace. That's slow pace, never showcase. Just exhibit excellence in my old days. And
Yo,
make
Pete,
mixtapes from
what's
my
up,
old
man?
ways. You do it one day, a Tuesday, on Sunday, a Tuesday.
Yo,
Whatever who say, just as long as you say.
Suno got a new a new update today. I read it at work because I be fucking with this shit at work and I'm supposed to be working sometimes. Let me get the schmutz off of here. But you see right here what's new? It says one thing is new. If it does, your computer generates another voice. Do you sing duets? I actually been thinking about doing that, trying to make it do like a back and forth with two different voices. I think all you have to do is prompt it. Cause I actually want to write my own back and forth, like Styles P and Jadakiss used to do back in the day. Mobb Deep did it a lot, where one rapper say 2 bars and then 2 bars, back and forth. So I want to write something like that that's made for 2 people and then kind of prompt it to do like a duet. But this new feature is Suno Scenes. Yo, what's up, master? Suno Scenes. We're introducing Suno Scenes, a brand new way to create music. Now you can turn your photos and videos into unique soundtracks. Whether capturing a beautiful landscape or a moment with friends, your memories can inspire your next song. So all you do is you upload a video or a picture, and then you describe it, and then you give the genre that you want to hear, and it'll make a song from your image. I haven't tried it yet. I don't want to burn my credits doing that shit because I don't know. I don't know. Suno doesn't write really good songs. The lyrics be very basic and generic. So I don't know if I want to burn my credits on like some generic ass AI song. Like, I know the AI is making the voice and the music, but I wrote the fucking songs. I don't want to. Yo, what up, bro? How you doing? This AI is getting out of hand now. This too damn. You say it making what? Songs off of videos? Hey, bro, that's what it said. You see, I just read it, bro. It says, yo, you say I'm on the clock. Hey, it said upload a picture and it'll make a video from your picture. Is what it's telling us. Oh man, Rick, they said message retracted, man. Hey, what are you trying to say, man? This man in here trying to curse. Oh, you get off at 5. Cue Terminator theme. Hey man, the machines are here. They just ain't organized yet. Once they decide to organize, hey, we might be the pets. You know what I'm saying? We might be the pets after a while. It's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy. And so now I know what everybody says. Oh, it's not your voice. It's not your voice. It's not your voice. I bet that's gonna be the next feature they add to this thing, where, okay, you can train your voice. Do you have enough samples of your own voice? I do. All I gotta do is upload my YouTube channel, or I can upload my old mixtape. I have tons of recordings of my voice where I can just train it, or it may even just let you rap a verse or sing something into it and use your voice, or give you a series of sentences or phrases to recite or repeat so that it learns your voice, and then after that, hey, you're in there. It can. So now the one thing that people wanted that's there is the edit. So before, it made a song for you and that was it. You couldn't really change it. And so I think one of the first features was being able to take the voice off the beat and just you can just download the beat and save that itself, so you can separate the two files. And then they went back in and let you edit the words in the song. Now you can just make a song from an image or a video. Once again, next thing you just, if they just let us train our voice to this shit, bro, the studio is under fire right now, man. Music studios, because it seems like they're giving us more control over like what we're able to produce with this technology. And if you can just fine tune it and get it dialed in to really exactly how you want it to be, why would you go to the studio? Or I mean, why wouldn't you use it as, you know, reference? Or I want a song, okay, boom, here it is. I'm gonna learn it like this, and I'm gonna go record it myself in the studio or whatever, you know. Next thing, be painting with AI prints. Hey, I'll just have an AI version of myself making an AI image, man. You know what I'm saying? It's me, but it's not me. You know what I'm saying? AI painting with the prints. Hey, y'all remember when I first started getting these iPads and stuff? Like, I was slow to the game with digital art. I only had iPads for like 2 years, maybe. I'm like on my second year with the iPads. And we went through the whole learning curve of how to do digital art and drawing on the iPads and all that shit. Now, just tell the AI to make it for you. Fuck it. You said it, etch a sketch. But the problem, said before, is the problem is, like we've said before, they still lack real emotions. That's it, bro. It's very much sterile. It's very cold and sterile. But that's why OpenAI said they had to take their shit to the government and tell them, hey, you got it, y'all guys got to see what we got. This is something big. And so they said they've figured out reasoning. And I think reasoning is like the verge of emotional context. So will the robots ever love us? I don't think so. I don't think they'll ever love us. We'll love them way before they love us. But having reasoning and being able to reason and understand human emotions is the first step of embodying or internalizing emotions themselves. Because once again, it can look at pictures of people's faces and say, oh, this person looks stressed, or this person looks angry, or this person looks excited. And the AI can already determine that just from an image. And so with better reasoning capabilities, will it actually feel it? But it'd be like, oh, Travis, you look frustrated. What's wrong? Is there anything I can help you with? And it would seem like it is actually giving a fuck about how you feel, because it has such great reasoning capabilities. So the movie I, Robot, I hope we don't get to that way of living. It's coming. You didn't see Tesla, yo, Elon Musk is really bringing goddamn iRobot to life, because there's this one meme I seen where they're comparing like all these scenes from the movie and all the shit that Elon is doing right now. Like his Tesla cars look like the cars in the movie. He just introduces his new Tesla bus that looks like the bus from the movie, and his robots kind of look like the robots from the movie. So I bet he watched that shit. He was like, yeah, you know what? In 20 years, I'll make all this shit real. Why would we have systems in place to be pre-armed about our emotions, actions? That's like handing the combination to the safe. No shit's no longer safe. Hey, well, I mean, I don't think that the machines need emotions. They just need to be functional. You know, but people will want that shit. That's how you got the the gigapets or whatever them little ships were back in the day. the little digital thing you put on your keychain. It was weird, but people cared about that little thing, man. That little gigapet, and the little robot. Not the Spot Minis, but they used to have these little teeny robot dogs and cats you can buy way back in the day. And people like that shit. But I think machines need to be more functional than anything else. Like a fucking car, it just needs to work. I don't need my car to give a damn if I'm having a bad day or not. I just need that shit to start when I get in there. People want the feeling that crack provides when you see what they are. Oh, somebody gonna essay one of these robots. Why? Don't essay the robots, man. Where the power hole at, man? I mean the power plug. I mean, who got some baby oil? See, I like to feel the cold steel against my skin. Makes me feel like a man. It's almost like rubbing a gun on your genitals. No, sir. Leave the robots alone. Don't essay the robots, please. It's just trying to fucking pack some boxes, sir. Is it a dope trip you cheated with a robot? Yes, I did come to orgasm, but it was with an inanimate object. We getting closer than we think, guys. Because once again, Elon marched out a whole fucking fleet of robots already. He had like 15 or 20 of them motherfuckers just walking. So, 20 years ago, when Tesla was just getting started, nobody never knew like it'd be as big as it is. And then the Boring Company and SpaceX and fucking Starlink and Neuralink and all this other shit. So get this motherfucker some time, yo. In another 20 years, you better believe like most of the Tesla factories, that shit'll be damn near 100% automated. You'll have a few technicians and one or two engineers and a fucking manager and that shit, and that'll be it. It'll be mostly automated machinery and robots. March, I swear you forever Franklin Aya. Hey man, I'm just trying to facts is facts, man. And if you can have a good concept and understanding of history to understand exactly what's going on in the present times, then you can damn near predict out into the future if you just extrapolate. It was like this 100 years ago and it's like this now. If we continue on this course, where will we be in 20, 75, 110 years from now? It ain't hard to see, like, and once again, this moment in history is so fascinating because we're on the cusp of this new technology that is rapidly accelerating all of our innovations. It took us, a million years to get out the fucking Stone Age. And then we used steam engines for a century before we invented the internal combustion engine. I looked through that shit too, and who was one of the main guys? Damn, I can't think. But when they figured out the internal combustion engine, that shit changed everything. And we've been running on that shit for over 100 years. But now, with all this new shit, like, everything's just moving so fucking fast, yo. So the shit that took us 100 years to accomplish is going to take us 25 years to accomplish. And then in that 25 years, we will advance so much that, the next 25 years, we would accomplish the same feats that it would have taken us, 200 years to do. So the next 50 years is going to be some rapid pace shit. If you just stay dialed into what's going on, like the next 50 years is going to be wild. A lot of us ain't going to be here in 50 years, but I can still just imagine what it'll be like when, you know, my grandson is my age. So once again, my thing with the youth is damn, I was trying not to cough so bad. I can't hold it. But shit. My thing with the youth is trying to really get them to understand that the world is changing fast. And they just have to be able to keep up with all the changes that's coming. Because in there, like my little kids in the STEM program, these kids are like second, third, and fourth grade, you know, 7, 8, 9 years old. Like, yo, the world gonna be different when you're my age. When you get to be an adult, like things are gonna change so fast. So just keep up with all the new technology and stay inquisitive. You know what I'm saying? And don't lag behind on stuff, because you're gonna have to develop a whole different set of skills for this new job market. A lot of this shit we did over the last 50 years, like those careers are gonna change a lot. And that's just the reality of it. Stay prepared. You gotta get some painting done. I'm gonna paint something. She said, when I was young, horses and carts were about. Really? I mean, the Amish still do it. Simpler way of life, man. Simpler times. Simpler times.
Common core education decimate this generation. COVID quarantine cause anxiety from separation. Put them at the screen and try to teach from a remote location. They stripped away the basics, trying to dumb down the nation. Common core education decimate this generation. COVID quarantine cause anxiety from separation. Put them at the screen and try to teach from a remote location. They stripped away the basics, trying to dumb down the nation. Man, these kids getting cheated from a good education. Half of them illiterate when they go to graduation. They can't read at grade level. What a crazy situation. And the parents ain't complaining cause the school says it's okay. Just get vaccinated and we'll let you walk the stage. They don't want no real thinkers or creators in the face. School systems overcrowded from illegal immigration. It's time to make a change. We need some new legislation in the wealth of a nation. This is you, that's the truth. I'm living proof that if you choose education and pursue a life of passion, you won't lose if you have the proper tools. And no wealth of a nation. This is you, that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. And the wealth of a nation, this is you, that's the truth. Common core education decimate this generation. COVID quarantine cause anxiety from separation. Put them at the screen and try to teach from a remote location. They stripping away the basics, trying to dumb down the nation. Common core education decimate this generation. COVID quarantine cause anxiety from separation. Put them at the screen and try to teach from a remote location. They stripping away the basics, trying to dumb down the nation. Man, they teach you what to think, they don't teach you how to think. Because if you see the matrix, then you might just break the chains. Cause we in a maze and the truth still remains that the FDA allows red 40 in your drains. Glyphosate in your complex, choose the real and not the fake. The school shooters can't relate, so they choose to imitate things that they say in movies and violent video games. And they're gonna do it by itself. still get all the blame. Change the conversation, new exchange, new refrain. Cause these internet kids different, really acting crazy. And it might be the 5G crying out for waves. And it might be the 5G crying out for waves. And the wealth of a nation, this is you, that's the truth. Common core education, decimate this generation. COVID quarantine, cause anxiety for separation. Put them at the screen and try to teach from a remote location. They strip away the basics, trying to dumb down the nation. Common core education, decimate this generation. COVID quarantine, cause anxiety for separation. Put them at the screen and try to teach from a remote location. They strip away the basics, trying to dumb down the nation. And the wealth of a nation, this is you, that's the truth, that's the truth, that's the truth, that's the truth. And the wealth of a nation, this is you, that's the truth, 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 that's the truth. Yeah. All about the nations. If you are human, then we are equal. Time to take the power back, give it to the people. Open the curtains, see through the evil. Because they use deceptions, trying to deceive you. Lethal injections, sting you with needles. My friend got vaccinated, still caught the measles. Gotta get the message out, travel like the Beatles. Sleep with the fish, or fly with the eagles. What can we do? Somebody ask me, teach it to your children and tell it to their classmates. Cause they are the future, living in the last days. But a young billion mile change the landscape. Politics and slavery, let's try to escape. Alter the course of the world, just a handshake. And I failed to graduate, so education mandate. Time to heal the problem, we can't fix it with a band-aid. So I tell the truth to my KIDS. Give them all the knowledge, then we play like recess. Sometimes we're happy and sometimes we stress. Always follow your dreams, don't live on regrets. Time to heal a problem, we can't fix it with a band-aid. So I tell the truth to my KIDS. Give them all the knowledge, then we play like recess. Sometimes we're happy and sometimes we stress. Always follow your dreams, don't live on regrets. Sometimes we're happy and sometimes we stress. Always follow your dreams, don't live on regrets. You never been poor, can't understand my story. Why I fight for the cause and never for the glory. Now they got my phone tapped trying to record me. Cause all these lying politicians just bore me. No more patience, more the fabrications. I'm just realizing all the time we wasted. All the other slaves, man, I'm really trying to save them. So we can live our lives freer than the Masons. And it's amazing how the guys brainwashed. Driving out my little kids playing in the sandbox. Won't travel the desert, they say the sand hot. Complain, but won't try to fight to give a day guy. Instead they watch TV, I let their brains rot. While guns and drugs are part of the plot. And I just cannot fall for the system. If you don't stand for something, then you fall as a victim. So I tell the truth to my KIDS. Give them all the knowledge, then we play like recess. Sometimes we're happy and sometimes we stress. Always follow your dreams, don't live on regrets. Time to heal a problem, we can't fix it with a band-aid. So I tell the truth to my KIDS. Give them all the knowledge, then we play like recess. Sometimes we're happy and sometimes we stress. Always follow your dreams, don't live on regrets. Sometimes we're happy and sometimes we stress. Always follow your dreams, don't live on regrets. Got too much television, not enough books. Too many bars, not enough rooks. Not enough queens, not enough kings. To teach our children how to do the right things. But every journey starts off with baby steps. You gotta stay on top and keep your grades in check. And you shouldn't have sex if you ain't ready yet. Gotta learn to manage money, don't get in debt. And if you got student loans, better pay the rent. Because a good credit score is a great success. But your 1% might get upset when he see me on the podium like you're up next. Don't dwell on regrets, cause we fighting for the future. Call me the teacher, or call me the tutor. Crucial decisions, this game is brutal. I'ma make a spark and let the fire roll. patience. I'm just realizing all the time we wasting. All the other slaves, man, I'm really trying to save them, so we can live our lives freer than the Masons. All the other slaves, man, I'm really trying to save them, so we can live our lives freer than the Masons.
I think that might be the version I keep on here. I really like this version of Kids. I'm gonna scoop that back up to the top. I think Kids came in after Diamonds. I really do think I'm gonna try to find a picture to see if it'll make a video from the photo. I got some pads right here. I need to look through these because I'm still looking for that verse, man. I cannot find that one flipping verse that I'm looking for. It's crazy. Yo, Jay, what up, what up, what up? You said wowzers. That's cool. Appreciate it, bro. Hmm. 843, hey, you play with them sharks, get tossed in the waves. Do the dead, when I say do the dead man's float in the ocean for days while I'm waiting on the boat to bring in that yay. Bars. That's not what I'm looking for. Nope. Nope. No. This right there sounds really dope though. You might. I'm trying to get that cash, man. Living in the fast lane, serve a little cane, and I roll like a dice game. Bars. Nope. 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 That's the verse I just used this verse. Y'all niggas roll L's, but you really not smoking that. That homegrown you got right there is for the vultures. Smoking on that reefer. Hey, I just used that verse. Nope. See, I don't know that. Nope, I can't. Page after page after page. I'm not finding the goddamn verse I'm looking for. I don't know where that shit at. And I think I may have actually missed it because I only got 2 other pads, so I gotta look through these 2, and that's half of that pad right there. So if it's not in either one of these pads, there's 2 more pads. And if I look through them and it's not there, I missed that. Then I have to start back over and really take my time and comb through it. Because I saw that verse, yo. I know I saw that verse. Puff, you know that? That was the last verse I recorded in the summit. I gotta find that verse, bro. I can't, bro, I've been looking for it for 2 days. I just remember it being like a song about some chicks. I'm gonna make like a, you know, like a Playboy, like pimp song about girls, cause there's the one verse that I got on the Shades Off track, and I can actually use that Shades Off hook if I want to, cause I wrote that hook, so that's my hook. but I wouldn't use everybody else's verse on there though. That's why I didn't mind doing Lost Love, even though E Class sung the hook for Lost Love on the original track. Like I wrote that hook though, so that's still mine. And for that Shades Off track, I wrote the hook for that, and I wrote the hook for Freaky Tonight. I could just take those two verses. I could take my verse from Shades Off and my verse from Freaky Tonight and put those together and make a song. I didn't think about that. That's definitely an option. But I still want to find I could do those two verses plus the unrecorded verse. Well, the once recorded, now deleted verse that I did. But would that be too much? Like 3/16 about chicks, and I come to realize I repeat a lot of phrases and different things. That's why I got so many verses, and there's a lot of repeated material. So I'm trying to like dig through and find like the best of all this shit. And that's why I'm actually still writing some new stuff to some of it. So I'll write a new verse or a new hook to go with some of the old material to stretch it out some. I still feel like I ain't gonna lie. So I already got enough material for the 3 little albums. I think I still have enough material left for like another whole album, maybe like 10 songs. If I write like 2 or 3 more new songs, I might do another 10-track album. Then I'll call it quits. You know what I'm saying? That'd be like 40 something songs. 40 at least 40 songs. And not just 40 songs, but 40 solos, 40 solo tracks. Like I said, if I had a crew of people or a team or just like other motherfuckers that rap, you can stretch 40 tracks out until like double that or damn near, or at least half times. Because once again, you can just like a lot of the tracks on that old mixtape. I had E Class with me, I had Lil Homie rapping with me, or some of the other homies, and all I had to do was one verse. You can save a lot of material just using one verse per song. So I got 30 tracks with most of them have 2 verses, so that's fucking already 60 verses right there. That's a lot of writing. That's a lot of writing. I do have to compliment myself on that. I wrote a lot of music. Not once again, not as much music as anybody in the industry who's had a long ass career in music, but just for some layman ass dude who just writes for fun, like I don't think that's bad. Ice Spice ain't got 30 songs. Now, out of the 30 songs that I got, like maybe like 10 of them are really good, and out of that 10, like maybe 2 of them are like dope as fuck. I don't know. I can't narrow it down. I really do like that last one I wrote, that Wealth of a Nation. I love that song. I love Kids. I love a lot of these tracks. we have been running these songs up for a couple weeks though. I like I like how I'm feeling now. I'm getting to the point where I don't want to hear it anymore. That's why I say I try to burn them shits up so much that I get tired of it. Because after years and years of listening to that old mixtape, finally hearing it a different way with different beats, that shit was very, very refreshing. I love that shit. But now, like, since I done, once again, for a couple weeks now, this is the only shit I've been listening to. I'm like, I need to write some more shit or or find these verses and put some more songs together. Because even that last one I did, I'm almost tired of that one. But that slow pace, that slow pace is still good, bro. Okay, we're gonna say outright and upfront that this stream is for entertainment purposes only. You should not believe anything I say ever, at all. If you think it's true, don't believe me. Go do your own research and figure it out for yourself. I'm doing this for fun, so don't take this seriously or literally. Don't believe anything I say, ever. You know what I'm saying? The stream is for entertainment purposes only. Here go Dan Calloway.
Kamala Harris let killers go free. And as California attorney,
an election, Democrats.
I gotta show y'all this shit right here too. Since ain't nobody in my Instagram stream. There was a couple people in there for a second, but they popped out. All right. One of my homies. It's weird because when I'm streaming on Instagram, I don't get text messages, so I'll just check a few messages. I got a message from. I see I got a message from Kamala Harris. They sent it twice. Hi, friend. We have less than 25 days remaining until the future of our country is decided. We can choose the dark path of Project 2025 with the less freedom and more division, which is 20. He's already said, bro, I'm not with 2025. That's not my shit. Or we can choose to pull together and chart a new way forward. Are you with me? I tapped no on the first one, then I scrolled down, tapped no on the second one, so it gave the no response twice, and then twice it said, thank you for sharing, and then I responded with, fuck Harris, Trump 2024. Hey, you know what else, man? On my Facebook, I'm gonna just see if I can find one, because they're all up here everywhere now. No, I'm not gonna get one. There's like Kamala had ads like every few minutes. You get a fucking Kamala Harris ad or support or something like that. But yo, when you go to the comments, everybody's like, nah, nigga. Yo, if you get any Kamala Harris ad in your social media, just look at the comment section. Like, nobody's falling for this shit anymore. Nobody. Oh, I can't find one. That's crazy. It won't come up now. Like, earlier today, like I did this. I just scrolled for like 2 minutes, and then it's like I seen 2 ads, and then I had to get some work done. And then while I was on lunch, I was eating my lunch. I was scrolling a little bit, and then I seen another ad. I'm like, yo, that's like 3 ads I saw. Just like what the heck? How is she getting so many ads out there? And then I was like, I just went to the comment section, because this be like these black people like, this is why we should vote for Harris. And then they start, and then I'm like, you look at it like paid for by the Harris campaign, and then you click on the comments, and people are like, nah, fuck this bitch, yo. It won't come up now. I guess I didn't, just because I did that survey thing, and I keep making all these negative comments, I'm seeing less than that shit. Because I swear I saw like at least 3, and then the 2 messages that they inboxed me talking about, are you gonna vote for it? And I'm like, what in the hell is going on today? Like, they pushing really hard. Hi, friend, we have 25 days left, and you're losing. You're trying to grasp every straw and reach out to every whatever. It ain't working, ladies. Stop, man.
Abortion bans. Pregnant women.
Action. Democrats like Hillary Clinton are no amateurs to this form of unnecessary censorship, as she can be seen back in December of 2016, advocating for Congress to address these issues as if they are life-threatening to the public and the alleged democracy.
Let me just mention briefly one threat in particular that should concern all Americans, Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike, especially those who serve in our Congress. The epidemic of malicious fake news and false propaganda that flooded social media over the past year, it's now clear that so-called fake news can have real-world consequences. This isn't about politics or partisanship. Lives are at risk. Lives of ordinary people just trying to go about their days, to do their jobs, contribute to their communities. It's a danger that must be addressed, and addressed quickly. Bipartisan legislation is making its way through Congress to boost the government's response to foreign propaganda, and Silicon Valley is starting to grapple with the challenge and threat of fake news. It's imperative that leaders in both the private sector and the public sector step up to protect our democracy and innocent lives.
When the internet became more popular in the 1990s, it faced censorship, but social media companies and the public were protected by many laws at this time, like 47 USC 230, which provided immunity for online computer services and the content generated by their users. In 2016, the government found a loophole and began censoring websites and social media platforms, which was technically against the law. People were not allowed to freely express their opinions on political matters that didn't align with certain political parties' agendas and go viral on social media. News stations and the government soon recognized the need to adapt to the growing trend of using social media platforms like Facebook Instagram, and Twitter to connect with the public. People effectively captured public attention by using their phones as cameras and microphones to share their opinions on various topics. The news stations quickly started using social media platforms to reach the public. This gained attention because people could easily find their local news station's social media page and get updates on the news they cover. The stations hoped this would prevent people from turning to alternative news sources. With the help of Silicon Valley's social media giants that ruled the internet, they collected data from each user to allegedly provide a better experience while using their applications. But they were intentionally unlawfully censoring posts that the public would generally see based on their algorithms. This new form of censorship allowed the government and its news media stations to suppress the reach of a viral video, which they believed could sway public opinion on important topics. This censorship was not only about combating alternative news or foreign influence from countries that oppose particular politicians. The truth is that the government wanted full control over the narrative about specific politicians and their agendas. Watch this video as Hillary Clinton admits this truth and proposes removing 47 USC 230 as law.
Man, say, man, when I first started watching you paint, man, I was goddamn single, chilling in an apartment. Now I got a house and wife and 3 kids, nigga, and you still painting. Same thing, dog. Everything changed with you, man. You been lifing, and I just been holding steady. I've been holding steady, cuz. I was like, God damn, it's 10 years ago, nigga. I got a whole family now. That's what's up, man. Beautiful thing, man. Congratulations. I'm happy that we both here to even share in this story. You know what I'm saying? After all this time has passed, man. Appreciate you dropping back in, just making some comments, making some chat with me. How old are your kids, bro? You had twins? You popped 2 out at one time? No? Shit. 3 kids in 10 years. Somebody putting that work in, boy. You want another one? 2, 3 years later. You want another one? Well, wait a minute. 4 years later. You want another one? Let one get in school first, motherfucker. Can get whoa. Let one go to school first. Nah. I love you too much. I got 3 on. Larry Moe and Kirby. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. He get to figure out if all the stereotypes are real, because with the 3 you got the oldest, the middle, and the baby. Now you got all 3. I don't want to brighten this up too much, actually. I will give it some contrast here, maybe. Let's see. Do I gotta wet it? I might wet it. Maybe a little contrast here. Let's see. Make it pop out right there a little bit. And make it pop out right here a little bit. These clouds is like, it's so weird, man. This one I'll be doing landscapes and shit, man. I'll be painting people, man. Where my people at? That ain't too bad. That don't look too bad at all.
Just this past September,
We should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave, platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
in addition to the fact that the CNN reporter looks as if he just saw a ghost, in September of this year, Hillary stated that she believes people who oppose their political views and policies should be jailed.
And boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
And just in case you were wondering, Kamala Harris echoed these beliefs and wanted to regulate free speech as if it threatened democracy. This was at a time when Donald Trump, as president, was removed from social media sites like Twitter.
He has lost his privileges and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
Here's former Democrat and now independent Robert F. Kennedy giving his take on censorship and free speech.
Are trying to say that Donald Trump hates democracy, that he wants to be a dictator. But they're all advocating now, openly advocating the censorship of our speech. And what they say is, well, we don't want to censor all speech, just the lies. They want to determine what's the truth and what's a lie. And who was the biggest perpetrator of lies during the COVID epidemic? It was the government itself. They were the ones promoting disinformation and misinformation.
Can you say that,
I saw this week Hillary Clinton.
I ain't know he said that. Wait, man, look, people in the government who on the inside and know that shit, you can't say, hey, the government corrupt. Yeah, that's why I gotta vote this time. Yo, like, cause Tulsi Gabbard be saying that shit. He be saying that shit. Trump be saying that shit. Yo, Vivek already talked about the deep state. Yo, you got a whole team of not conspiracy theorists, but motherfuckers who know the real conspiracies. That shit is wild. Yo, they trying to censor our fucking speech. They're talking about this motherfucker is a dictator and all this shit, and they're the ones trying to censor your fucking freedom of speech. Trying to be dictators and talking about, oh, we're gonna lose all our power. All what power? To manipulate and fucking propagandize people? Yeah, you should lose that power. I don't want to be manipulated and propagandized. I want to be able to listen to alternative news outlets that'll tell me something alternative than what you're fucking telling me. Because I want to hear everything what everybody has to say, even if I don't agree with it. Let me hear what you have to say, whether it will sway me more to your side or whether it will just strengthen my argument. And I can't remember what I posted, but recently I've had a post taken down, and I don't even be sharing like bombastic shit. It probably was some random, Camilla Harris meme making fun of her or something, and I was scrolling just through my own page, and it was like, oh, this post has been taken down. That was just like a couple days ago, like 2-3 days ago. And I couldn't remember exactly what I had posted. I'm like, what the fuck did you take down? Then today, I get I see 3 or 4, at least 3 ads with like black people giving all their reasons. Then I seen the one ad, the white dude. I voted for Donald Trump twice, and I refuse to vote for him again this time. This time it's Camilla Harris. No, it's a no-brainer or something he said. And I was like, why am I seeing this? Like, why is this in my feed? And I don't see any pro-Trump campaign ads other than from the pages that I follow. Because I follow the Daily Wire, and I follow some other like semi right-wing shit but without them sharing anything, just like a random Facebook ad. Like, I don't see just random pro-Trump ads. And I mentioned that yesterday. There's something wrong with that. There is something, you have to take that into consideration. Once again, whether you like this man or not, why don't we see any positive things about him? Which would make one believe that even serving 4 years as president, he completely bumbled everything and got nothing right. So you're telling me there is not one positive thing you can say about this dude, his time in office, or about his current campaign or his current policies? I don't see any of that shit, just randomly. But for Camilla, I get a random inbox survey. Like, how? Who's paying for that? Who paid for that? Where's that money coming from to try to sway me and just to ask my question? Am I going to vote for her? No, I'm not. And they keep saying there's no black. All the black men are just like, nah, we're not with it this time. And like I said, that's why they had to bring out Obama to kind of shame us and like, nah, I'm good. I'm all right on that. Well, use social media. The one, what we're trying to ban, the stuff. Yeah, use that to reach out to them. No, I'm good. I actually had somebody call my phone too. Yeah, that was wild. Motherfucker called me and I did the survey on the phone. I answer your questions. I'm not playing these games with y'all people. Period. We're not playing these games. We're gonna leave it like that. I'm going for a bathroom break. That shit getting more and more detailed though. I ain't gonna lie, yo. I'm actually really liking how this is looking right now. I can't even front. Like that shit is getting so fucking detailed. I paint the fucking planet, bro.
Tim Walz and Kamala Harris all using the same talking point. And the next administration is going to get rid of misinformation and disinformation because that is not protected by the First Amendment. Well, it is. The First Amendment protects lies the same as it protects speech. Truth. The First Amendment was not written to protect the kind of speech that we all want to hear. It was written for hard times. Protect the speech that nobody wants to hear. And that is the fundamental foundation stone of democracy, that everybody gets to say, to have their own truth. And as Louis Brandeis said, the remedy for bad speech is not censorship, never. Because that turns to totalitarianism. The remedy for bad speech is more speech. And that's something that Donald J. Trump understands because he's been censored himself. And he understands it very acutely. He's seen the weaponization of the federal agencies to silence him, to destroy the electoral process as they did to me.
Brief final question. You liken yourself to Cassandra, the Greek mythological figure who could see the future and the prophecies, but was never believed. Putting that Cassandra hat on for the moment, but we're listening. What is something you see happening in the near future that we should be taking more seriously?
Well, I do think that the press needs a consistent the press that's not supporting Trump blatantly, very persistently, the press that's trying to be the press, be objective, be, reporting the facts. The press needs a consistent narrative about the danger that Trump poses. Because, people may still look at the danger and say, I don't care, it doesn't affect me, I'm gonna vote for X, Y, or Z, but okay. But at least people need to be woken up and given the facts about what he has done, is saying, and would do. And I anticipate that, something will happen in October, as it always does. The Russians, as I said earlier, are very active in this election. We know the Iranians are active as well. Chinese uses TikTok, or they certainly did against Biden and for Trump. I think they're a little less pro-Trump right now. So you look at where people get their information, and they get their information largely from social media.
I do.
And so the campaign is doing the best job it can to combat both domestic and foreign false disinformation. But I anticipate there will be a full court press in October. The digital airwaves will be filled. And why
do people get most of their information from social media? Because nobody trusts legacy media anymore. These motherfuckers that's been around for 80 years, we don't trust you, bro. CBS, NBC, MSNBC, all these motherfuckers, y'all not credible anymore. So, I'd rather listen to somebody with a cell phone who actually went to whatever place they're trying to talk about. We have to find a way to combat this, because the Chinese were helping Trump. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people believe this shit. A lot of people believe this shit. That's the wildest part.
Matter because the press that is pro-Trump anyway, oftentimes stories are put on digitally that then are picked.
What press is pro-Trump? You got Fox that likes Trump because they're very right wing. And other than that, like I said, you got to subscribe to the Daily Wire, which is getting more and more mainstream, but which is basically alternative media. There is no real media that supports Trump. All of the official debates that they've had on those news networks, they hammered against Trump when he debated Harris. They hammered against Vance when he debated Waltz. It's like you can see that even the networks themselves are skewed to one side, and they're trying to prop up one candidate and down the other. So what? I don't get it.
By, let's say, at Fox and others.
What others?
And then those stories are stories, so the mainstream press reports on them, and so that story then takes on a life of its own. There will be concerted efforts to distort and pervert Kamala Harris.
So, is it social media or is it Fox Network? Which one is it? So you just want, once again, you just want anybody that says anything pro-Trump to shut the fuck up. You can't let, can't let Facebook say shit. You can't let Fox say shit.
Who she is, what she stands for, what she's done. I mean, look, the crazy story about me running a child trafficking operation out of a basement of a pizzeria. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. It was a huge story. And it got one young man in North Carolina to get in his car with his, assault rifle and drive up to liberate these non-existent children and shoot up a pizzeria in Washington, D.C. This is dangerous stuff. It starts online, often on the dark web. It migrates. It's picked up by the pro-Trump media. It's then reported on by everybody else, which makes sure it has about 100% coverage. And people believe it. So I don't know what it's going to be, but it will be something, and we'll have to work very, very hard to make sure that it is exposed as the lie that it is.
So Hillary Clinton said they need to control the narrative a lot more, especially during October. She threatened the public blatantly, saying that something is going to have to happen in October, right? I wonder what that could be.
Thing that I will underscore, nothing that I was sent or that I sent was marked classified.
Secretary Clinton said I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Was that true?
There was classified material emailed.
I never sent nor received any information that was classified at the time it was sent and received.
Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified on her emails, either sent or received. Was that true?
That's not true.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received.
When I got to work as Secretary of State, I opted for convenience to use my personal email account because I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails instead of two.
Secretary Clinton said she used just one device. Was that true?
She used multiple devices during the 4 years of her term as Secretary of State.
I didn't have to turn over anything. I chose to turn over 55,000 pages of my email, but we turned over everything that was work-related. Every single thing.
Secretary Clinton said all work-related emails were returned to the State Department. Was that true?
No, we found work-related emails, thousands, that were not returned.
What, like with a cloth or something? No.
You get a subpoena, and after getting the subpoena, you delete 33,000 emails. And then you ask to wash them.
Everything he just said is absolutely false.
Secretary Clinton said neither she nor anyone else deleted work-related emails from her personal account. Was that true?
The email software was removed. That didn't remove the email content. The effect was that millions of email fragments ended up in the server's unused or slack space. This helped us recover work-related emails that were not among the 30,000 that were produced to state.
We went through a thorough process to identify all of my work-related emails and deliver them to the State Department.
Secretary Clinton said her lawyers read every one of the emails and were overly inclusive. Did her lawyers read the email content individually?
No.
Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
Did Donald Trump obstruct justice as you read the incidences as Mueller lays them out?
Well, I think there's enough there that any other person who had engaged in those acts would certainly have been indicted.
Really?
I'm just here to make you think.
And she's like, oh, well, the Clintons endorsed me. Bitch, that's not a good thing. No, the Cheneys endorsed me. Once again, bitch, that ain't a good thing. You got evil, corrupt motherfuckers endorsing you like, History, people, history. You can look back and look at these people's own records, and they're not good. They lie a lot. The Clinton Foundation steals fucking money and swindles that shit through all these fucking foundations and shit. They done knocked off a couple people. Entertainment purposes only. Don't believe shit I say. This is all wrong. Whatever I'm saying is not true. They got a couple motherfuckers knocked off. Epstein Island, 27 times on the plane with this motherfucker. But y'all would be, oh, the Clintons endorsed me. You don't say. P. Diddy, white parties and all this good stuff. You alright. You be alright. You know what I'm saying? Trump fucking porn stars, you know, he doing it in the privacy of his own home. Not on camera in front of all these weirdos and shit. Like a gentleman should. You know? You get a prostitute, man. Hey, that's you and her business. And you tell this bitch, hey, bitch, don't tell nobody what we did. And they try to get him for that. I gave her money. Like he should. Like a gentleman. Fucking call girl. I ain't know that bitch was in porn. I thought she was just a normal call girl. She was high level. I see why she was so good. You know what, motherfucker? Keep your mouth closed. Well, I don't know. And whoever's still falling for it, but hey, I be having to delete people off my social media. I can't believe the intellectual capacity or lack of some people that I know. It's just like, wow. The racial thing is just so strong. It's just like, well, she's a black woman. She's not black, you know. But if you want to go on just the woman thing, oh man, it's just like, bruh, I don't think I can really talk to you no more. That's the only people who just like I associate with. Like if I never met you in person, not ever in real life, if I just follow you because you got dope art or some shit like that, and I never ever met you before, and you be always posting that shit, I gotta get you off my. I don't want to see that shit all the time. Every time I scroll, nah, I'm good. Get out of here. Cause I'm trying to figure out why you so dumb. But then I also have to constantly remind myself the brainwashing is hella strong these days. brainwashing is hella strong these days. So I do give, like I say, certain people a certain benefit of the doubt. Like, man, if you just like, oh, Kamala Harris is the best thing since sliced bread. I love her. She's the new queen. It's like, Don't. White man for Camilla. Oh my God. Such a mush. Y'all just mush. Alright. Excuse me. They said, I'm just here to make you think. Packet parts. Does he understand how that is transmitted? I don't know. Well, we took the software off, but we still found fragments of emails that remained in pockets. I don't know what the fuck that meant, bro. Fragments of emails? Is this shit like the goddamn Rosetta Stone or some shit? We need fragments of. I don't know. Bro, I'm trying so hard not to eat all these fucking shit. I shouldn't have brought the whole thing up there. I should have just poured some in a bowl or something and left the bag downstairs. Cause I'll eat this whole bag of chips, and then I feel bad about it for like 10 minutes. Then I'll be fine. But that 10 minutes be like the worst self-deprivation ever. Just like, you're so greedy. You're such a slob. You're sitting here eating all this unhealthy food. And it's like, this shit good as fuck now, son. Slow it down. Slow it down. I'm just here to make you think.
I'm JT and I made Result Hunter, the search engine for conservatives. Let me just tell you what it does. First of all, big tech.
Yet another person comes
search
out
engine
talking
for
about the
conservatives?
potential risks and benefits of AI. That person is Dario Amodei, the founder and CEO of Anthropic, one of the biggest competitors to OpenAI and ChatGPT. He wrote a powerful essay called Machines of Loving Grace that's creating a bit of a stir in the industry. How AI can transform the world for the better. In this video, let's take a look at what this essay says, because keep in mind, he's one of a handful of people that are extremely close to the AI development, the development of the frontier models, the most capable AI systems. So his educated guess, if you will probably be one of the world's best, because of how close he is to the cutting-edge AI progress. Now, in the past, he talked a lot about the risks of powerful AI. He was very concerned, and a lot of people saw Anthropic, his company, as maybe being safer than OpenAI, him as being the safer person to steward this powerful technology into the world. As he's saying here, sometimes people draw the conclusion that he's a pessimist or doomer who thinks AI will be mostly bad or dangerous. He does not think that at all. He thinks most people are underestimating how radical the upside of AI could be, just as most people are underestimating how bad the risks could be. In this essay, he's going to talk about what happens if everything goes right. How good will life be if we get it right? The categories he is most excited about when it comes to powerful AI are biology and physical health, neuroscience and mental health, economic development and poverty, peace and governance, and work and meaning. And we start by looking at some basic assumptions and frameworks. First, he wants to define what he means by powerful AI, and that he dislikes the term AGI, artificial general intelligence, but he believes that can come as early as 2026. But whether that happens in 2026 or not, what happens in the 5-10 years after that? So if AGI rolls around next year, what will the world look like in 2030 to 2035? So his idea of a powerful AI, it might be similar to an LLM, a large language model, or it could have a completely different architecture, but it will have the following properties. In terms of pure intelligence, it's smarter than a Nobel Prize winner across most relevant fields: biology, programming, math, engineering, writing, etc. It can improve unsolved mathematical problems, write extremely good novels, write difficult code bases from scratch, etc. So notice here, he's not even talking about it being better than the median human, the average human. It's not even in the top 1%. In terms of pure intelligence, it's smarter than a Nobel Prize winner. In addition to being just a smart thing you talk to, it has all the interfaces available to your human working virtually: text, audio, video, mouse and keyboard control, and internet access. So it can replace basically any remote worker. It can engage in any actions, communications, or remote operations enabled by this interface: taking actions on the internet, taking or giving directions to humans, ordering materials, directing experiments, watching videos, making videos, and so on. I wonder what it says about me that I'm okay with it, doing all of this, but when we get to making videos, it's like, wait, stop right there. Not cool, man. And it's going to do all these tasks with, again, a skill exceeding that of the most capable humans in the world. By the way, let me know in the comments if you've had that moment where you realize that an AI could replace you or could soon replace you, whatever it is you do to earn a living, to provide for your family. Did you have that moment yet? How did that feel? Let me know in the comments, very curious. And this super AI, this powerful AI as he calls it, it does not just passively answer questions. It can be given tasks that take hours, days, or weeks to complete. It goes off and does these tasks autonomously. Again, so this is the idea of an agent that we've been talking about. This is the thing that a lot of people are excited / worried about. And this is that sort of like next level of AI. It goes and plans and does stuff completely on its own. It does not have any physical embodiment, but it can control existing physical tools, robots, or laboratory equipment through a computer. In theory, it could even design robots or equipment for itself to use. This is an interesting idea because we're not saying this robot is a large language model inside a robot.
I'm waiting on my AI art manager. Hey bro, I got these paintings. Get them to the people who want to buy it. Figure that shit out for me. I'm definitely going to have me an AI art agent. Alright, I better stop eating these chips today. Because if I do eat that whole bag of chips, then I won't be hungry for dinner. And I can't have that. Or I'll get hungry too late. right before I try to go to sleep or something, you're like, I'm hungry as fuck now. I think it's time to go to bed. Shouldn't be eating all them a whole bag of chips.
Brain, and I haven't heard this too much, but you can almost think of robots as appendages for a powerful AI. Just like we might use our fingers or hands to move stuff around, this AGI, this powerful AI, 10 or 20 or 30 robots to complete those tasks. That's a bit of a perspective shift, I think. And the resources used to train the model can be repurposed to run millions of instances of it. And this matches projected clusters sizes by 2027, so that the amount of compute clusters will match this by 2027, and it can absorb information, generate actions at roughly 10 to 100 times human speed. The millions of copies can act independently on unrelated tasks, or can all work on the same tasks together to collaborate like humans do. Different subpopulations could be fine-tuned to be especially good at particular tasks. We could summarize this as a country of geniuses in a data center. Clearly, such an entity would be capable of solving very difficult problems very fast, but it is not trivial to figure out how fast. Two extreme positions both seem false to me. Now, on one hand, you have this idea of the singularity, right? So basically, the world will be transformed in a matter of seconds or days, perhaps, as this superintelligence builds on itself and solves every possible scientific, engineering, and operational task almost immediately. Now, of course, we have real limits and constraints, such as hardware, conducting biological experiments, etc. Intelligence may be powerful, but it isn't magic fairy dust. And on the flip side of that, you might believe that the technological progress is saturated or rate limited by real-world data or by social factors, and that this superintelligence will add very little. He says this seems equally implausible to me. Certainly there are some problems where a large group of smart people would drastically speed up process, especially if they aren't limited to analysis and can make things happen in the real world, which our sort of country of geniuses can by directing or assisting teams of humans. So not only would it use robots as potentially as appendages, but also teams of humans. And he thinks the truth is likely to be some messy admixture of these two extreme pictures. He mentions that economists often talk about factors of production, things like labor, land, and capital. The phrase marginal returns to labor, land, capital. This captures the idea that in a given situation, a given factor may or may not be the limiting one. For example, an Air Force needs both planes and pilots. Hiring more pilots doesn't help much if you're out of planes. If you played games like Factorio or Satisfactory, you know this. So one small factor could be the limiting one to massive scale. A bottleneck of a critical material will basically slow down everything else, the entire system, to the rate at which you can produce that material. And he's saying in the AI age, we should be talking about the marginal returns to intelligence and figuring out what the other factors are that are complementary to intelligence and that become limiting factors when intelligence is very high. This is a very interesting thing to think about. We are not used to thinking in this way, to asking how much does being smarter help with this particular task and on what time scale. I gotta say, reading this, this person, Dario Amodei, already has given me a few perspective shifts, a few new ways, new lenses to see where things are going. As he says, this seems like the right way to conceptualize a world with very powerful AI. And here's his guess at a list of factors that limit or that are complementary to intelligence. So first of all, we have the speed of the outside world, right? Our world only moves so fast. Cells and animals run at a fixed speed, so experiments on them take a certain amount of time, which may be irreducible. This is true of hardware, materials, science, anything involving communicating with people, and even our existing software infrastructure. And of course, in science, you have experiments that need to be performed in sequence, each learning from and building upon the last. So for example, if you wanted to develop a cancer cure, there's probably going to be some minimum that cannot be decreased, right? So even with an infinite intelligence, if you will, there's still going to be a number of experiments that need to be run sequentially in order, each of them taking some time, because we're dealing with, well, cells and animals and metabolisms and so forth. Next, we have the need for data. Sometimes the raw data is lacking, and when we have lacking data, more intelligence simply does not help, right? So for example, with particle physicists, they're very ingenious, they have a wide range of theories, but because data is limited, they're not able to choose between them, to choose the correct one, the most likely one. And it's not clear if they could do much better if they were super intelligent. So if they all became a million times smarter, would they be able to overcome the bottleneck of data? We don't think so at this point. Then we have intrinsic complexity. Some things are inherently unpredictable or chaotic to where even the most powerful AI cannot predict or untangle them. Even an incredibly powerful AI could predict only marginally further ahead, above humans or computers we have today, in a chaotic system such as the three-body problem, which reminds me, I still have yet to see that movie. I hear it's very, very good. And of course, constraints from humans. Of course, many things cannot be done without breaking laws, harming humans, or messing up society. And as you mentioned before, we're strictly talking about aligned AI. If we're talking about an unaligned AI that's willing to do these things, well, we're talking about risks. Here, we're just looking at the upside in case we get everything right. He's saying while there are many societal structures that are inefficient or even harmful, it's hard to rapidly change them. We have people's willingness to change their habits, the behaviors of governments, etc. He's saying impacts of these changes would be substantially reduced by regulations or misplaced fears, including nuclear power, supersonic flight, and even elevators. He links to this article about elevators. This thing reminds me of The Shining. It actually has nothing to do with that. It's New York Times guest essay, The American Elevator Explains Why Housing Costs Have Skyrocketed. So as far as I can tell, this is saying that certain regulations make elevators in North America over-engineered, bespoke, handcrafted, and expensive pieces of equipment that are unaffordable, which makes it harder to build affordable housing. All right, I'll delete the question mark. Boy, was that a strange example to give, but okay. He also mentioned some physical laws that limit how fast the progress can take place. He gives two examples, such as the speed of light, and also pudding does not unstir. I think whatever points he lost with the elevator example, he made it all back with the pudding not unstirring example. Very good. The next point he's saying here is a lot of these limitations might be over time be reduced by some sort of a super intelligence that might be better at running experiments in vitro in a test tube, maybe creating bigger particle accelerators, etc. And find ways around human-based constraints. The phrase "release the hypnodrones" comes to mind. If you haven't played the wonderful online game Universal Paperclips at decisionproblem.com/paperclips, it's pretty good. One of those idle incremental games, and I think does a very good job of capturing what happens if all of this goes wrong. Basically, in the game, as this ever-improving AI, you're able to bribe humans to do your bidding for you until you develop the technology of hypnodrones, at which point you're able to release the hypnodrones, at which point you no longer have to bribe them to do things for you. I'll just leave it at that. But again, here we're talking about a aligned AI, and he continues, so we should imagine a picture where intelligence is initially heavily bottlenecked, but over time, intelligence itself increases routes around these bottlenecks. So with that in mind, with that framework, let's look at the different sort of areas that he mentioned in the introduction, starting with biology and health. By the way, right around the same time that this got released, Nobel Prize was awarded to Demis Hassabis and some of his teammates on the DeepMind team for the work with AlphaFold. So keep this in mind. When we're talking about this isn't science fiction. It's happening now. It's happening fast. We're already at a time when the biggest scientific breakthroughs are made on the backs of these neural nets. He's saying biology is probably the area where scientific progress has the greatest potential to directly and unambiguously improve the quality of human life. But even without curing disease, biological science can improve the baseline quality of human health, increase our healthy lifespan, increase control and freedom over our own biological processes, and addressing everyday problems that we currently think of as immutable parts of the human condition. Can you imagine, for example, never having to use a public toilet ever again because you have superhuman control over your bladder? Public restrooms will no longer be an immutable part of this our human condition. He mentions also that, this is where we are likely to run into some of the limitations, right? There's limitations of data, speed of the physical world, for example, for the experiments, and the intrinsic complexity. Of course, the human constraints also play a role, for example, when clinical trials are involved. He mentioned that experiments on cells, animals, and various chemical processes, like, for example, drug discovery, etc., they're limited by the speed of the physical world. Culturing bacteria or other cells sometimes takes time, or simply just waiting for chemical reactions to occur with no obvious way to speed it up. What's interesting here is we've had some examples of reproducing the entire certain species of worms in a simulation. So to me, here the big question is, can we simulate certain things with 100% accuracy? Certainly the idea that AlphaFold can predict the 3D structures of certain proteins maybe points to the fact that, yeah, maybe we can have near 100% accurate simulations of biology. He mentioned this here. He said even massive quantitative molecular data like the proteomics data that I collected while working on mass spectrometry techniques is noisy and misses a lot. So proteomics is the study of proteins, similar to how genomics is the study of genes. But this is in fact where we're seeing some massive breakthroughs with AlphaFold, with AI models able to predict some things, to notice some patterns in the folding of these proteins that we have not been able to find before. With classical computing, with our own human brains, when talking about, for example, producing certain drugs and seeing how it interacts on the human system, for example, not only does it take time to just run the actual experiments on humans, there's tons of bureaucracy, regulatory requirements, etc., that in his opinion and many others add unnecessary additional time and delay progress. This is why many people are skeptical of the value of AI. Oh, and here we come to AlphaFold. Some of the skepticism has been reduced by major and revolutionary breakthroughs like AlphaFold, which of course is they won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. So this was either written, or this particular part was added very recently. And AlphaProteo, which is another very recent sort of publication by Google DeepMind, where a sort of offspring of AlphaFold, if you will, is able to create proteins that attach themselves to target molecules. So for example, a protein binding site that attaches to a protein that plays a role in cancer or certain viruses or certain autoimmune diseases, that almost allows us to have a little bit more control of the protein. This, as the researchers at Google DeepMind put it, this allows us to design proteins or create designer proteins. We're getting to the point where we can engineer the building blocks of life. He's saying that a common formulation is AI can do a better job analyzing your data, but it can't produce more data or improve the quality of the data. Garbage in, garbage out. By the way, AlphaFold has predicted over 200 million protein structures, nearly all cataloged proteins known to science. Another Google DeepMind project called GNOME has discovered new structures of materials such as crystals, materials that could power future technologies. To give you an understanding of how that compares to how many materials we've been able to discover, this dark blue circle, that's human experimentation. We were able to uncover 20,000 sort of new materials that are computationally stable using other computational methods. We did a total of 48,000. Go humans. But this big circle here, that's GNOME, which expanded the number of stable materials currently known to humanity to 421,000. Then those sort of recipes are given to this little robot that's sitting inside of this glass blast-proof cage as it tries to cook up those sort of theoretical material recipes to see if we're able to reproduce it.
AI tool will take your idea and create a complete book, complete with design, images, layout, everything, including the content, literally in a few minutes. Watch this. So I'm using Designer, which will import content from your blog, from a Google Doc or a Word doc, or even a YouTube, depending on the plan you choose. For now, I'm going to use WordGenie, the AI feature. So all I need to do is give it an idea, and then click on next. And then just tell WordGenie what audience am I targeting my book towards. Then it'll just show me a selection of titles, which I'll just choose one that catches my eye. Then it'll suggest the outline for my book, which I'm free to edit as I see fit. And now the magic happens. It will generate the full content of the ebook, ready for me to edit, tweak, and tune. And obviously, I want to make it my own, so it comes across and reads really well. And so from here now, it's saved as a draft, or I can simply choose a template. There are hundreds of templates to choose from, and all of these are totally customizable. You can change anything, the images, the style, any of the text, whatever you want. So this one looks perfect for my niche, passion, grit, and success. All these images can be changed once I'm in the editor, and I can do worksheets, I can do all sorts within this template. So now you can see all my content from my draft has been pulled into this template, and all the content's been laid out into single column, double column, images have been put in the right place. But of course, I can now customize and change anything. So if I don't like a chapter heading page, perhaps that image doesn't work for me, I can search my inbuilt image search tool and just select another image, and it will just load it just like that. Any
But here Dario continues, he's saying that this idea of garbage in, garbage out, AI can't help, is pessimistic, and it's thinking about AI in the wrong way. AI is not a method of data analysis, but a virtual biologist who performs all the tasks biologists do, including designing and running experiments in the real world by controlling lab robots, or simply telling humans which experiments to run. It is by speeding up the whole research process that AI can truly accelerate biology. Again, this little circle is what humans can do. This is what we can do with various computational methods. And then we get an AI model that dreams up these new recipes, right? As it comes up the candidates, graphs it, see which one has stability. Then this robot, again, guided by an AI system that sits there and takes the little chemicals and heats them up and uses a centrifuge, whatever it does, to produce those chemicals, to test, to see if it can synthesize those new materials, right? So it successfully synthesized more than 41 new materials, opening up new possibilities for AI-driven material synthesis. So again, this is not 10 years in the future, this is not science fiction, it's happening now. In fact, this post is from last year. So actually it's happening, last year. Dario continues, I want to repeat this because it's the most common misconception that comes up when I talk about AI's ability to transform biology. I'm not talking about AI as merely a tool to analyze data. He's talking about AI to perform, direct, and improve upon nearly everything biologists do. If you've heard of the Pareto principle or the 80-20 principle, where 80% of the results is often attributed to 20% of the inputs, it's the idea that not all inputs are the same. Usually a small number of the things that you do contribute to some big impacts. And it's the same thing here in the progress in biology, that a surprisingly large fraction of the progress in biology has come from a truly tiny number of discoveries. There's maybe around one of these major discoveries per year, but collectively they arguably drive over half of the progress in biology. And these discoveries are powerful precisely because they cut through intrinsic complexity and data limitations, directly increasing our understanding and control over biological processes. In other words, these discoveries that kind of are at the foundational level, even though there hasn't been a lot of them, they have a massive, massive, massive impact. He gives some examples such as CRISPR, that allows live editing of a gene in our organisms, various microscopes like light microscopes, electron microscopes, etc. Genome sequencing and synthesis was dropped in cost. By the way, the cost for gene sequencing has been dropping faster than even, for example, Moore's law for computers, for computer chips. I forget the dates, but I think in the year 2000, it was in the billions. Whereas now recently, I think we've surpassed the $100 genome sequencing. This point in all of this is that this is precisely where AI could really help, because it would increase by 10x or more if there's a lot more talented creative researchers. That would increase the rate of discovery. In other words, what he's saying is the returns to intelligence are high for these discoveries. More smart people doing foundational biology work, the return on that intelligence is very, very high. By the way, recently one of the developers, the founders of CRISPR, did an interview basically saying that one of the limitations they have is that I apologize if I'm getting the details wrong, but the Cas9 protein, or one of the proteins they use for modifying genes, is a little bit too big, and if it was smaller, it would be much easier to accurately do some of the gene editing. And again, this is somewhere where you'd think something like AlphaFold from DeepMind or AlphaProteo, where they might be able to come up with a solution for this protein that has the same functionality but just much, much smaller, potentially could unlock a massive breakthrough in our ability to accurately and safely edit genes. Now, take that with a grain of salt. That's not my area of expertise, but from the people that I've talked to in that area, it seems like it could be realistic. So his greater point here is that powerful AI could 10x the rate of these discoveries, these foundational discoveries in biology, giving us the next 50 to 100 years of biological progress in just 5 to 10 years. And the reason why we can't get...
That's what I was saying, yo. We'll get a fucking 100 years of progress in 10 years. It'll take us 10 years to accomplish something else. It would have taken us 100 years to do. And we're at that moment in time right now. We're at that moment in time. Once again, the next 10 years, we're going to run through like 50, 60 years worth of technology. And I still can't imagine what the fucking black budget military shit got. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it right there. It's a little bit after 5 o'clock. Oh, yeah. I didn't think I'd be using such a small brush on such a big painting, but it is what it is. Drop this down. Alright. Okay, get all this shit turned off. We'll get this one wrapped up shortly. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna go try to eat some dinner and finish looking through these pads right here, trying to find that verse. Ow. I do want to, if I don't do it before the weekend, definitely at least like Saturday or Sunday, I want to try to put another track together. Hey, always appreciate you chilling in the studio with me. You know it. We about to get it in the same way tomorrow evening. I hope you have a good one. Peace. Until next time.